Hi everyone. I'm going to go ahead and go over problem 7 and problem 8 for the class notes. So the key thing to this is the setup, and this is part of the section on systems of equations. So what we're looking for is two equations with two unknowns, and then we can go ahead and use a method that we've learned or that we learned last night to go ahead and solve these problems, so Tuesday night. So anyway, we want to look for totals in the problem. So if we look here, and now I've lost my pen. Okay, let's try this again. And we'll get rid of this. Okay, here's the pen. So we want to look for totals in the problem. So here's one here, and then here is one here. So we want to look for these totals and see if we can do something with them. So we have a total of 17 pounds of trail mix, and then it's totaling up to $75. So what are we totaling? Well, we have in the problem here, we have mixed nuts. So let's say this is the number of pounds. So X is going to be equal number of pounds of the mixed nuts. And then we have pretzels. So pretzels are going to be the number of pounds of the pretzels. So if we add them both together, we get 17 pounds total once we're done. Now you look at the cost, and do we have the cost? Well, if we take the cost of the mixed nuts, so if we take $5 times the number of pounds, and then we look at the pretzels, which is $3 per pound. If we went shopping, we bought so many pounds of mixed nuts and multiplied by $5, we get that total cost for the mixed nuts, and we do the same for the pretzels, and that ends up equaling 75. So once we get the setup, and we see that it's in its general form, and of course you can always put a equation in general form, we can go ahead and use our Gauss-Jordan method. So we're going to go ahead to the second matrix, and then we're going to edit it. So it's a 2 by 3, so we have 2 rows, 1, 2, 3 columns. If we needed to rewrite this, we could do that too. So we have 1x, 1y, and then it's augmented, so we have our 17, but again, your calculator won't show this line. And then 5, and 3, and 75. So that's what we want to get in our calculator without that line. So if we do this, and hit enter, we have our matrix, and we can see we have 2 rows and 3 columns. So then I have 1, enter, 1, enter, 17, enter, 5, enter, 3, whoops, 5, enter, 3, enter, and then 75, enter. So then we have the matrix in. Remember, we always do second quit to get out of it. Now we go back to do a calculation, and I'm going to go up because it's just, whoops, second matrix, math, didn't like that, oh there it goes. So I'm going up, I'm going to choose RREF to do the computation. Where are my numbers? Second matrix and A, hit enter, and then we have our answer. So we need 12 pounds of mixed nuts, and then we had 5 pounds of pretzels. And that's the answer to this one. Problem 8 is dealing with hydrochloric acid. So basically what's going on is this chemist needs a total of 15 liters of this solution at 25%. He looks on a shelf, but he has 40% and 10%. So this solution is higher, so it'll kind of bring up this guy because he's lower. So if we combine them all, we should be able to get to 25%. But he discovers these out of the solution, so again, he's going to combine these. He wants to make 15 liters, so there's our total. And what he's going to do is he's going to add together the liters of the 40% and the 10%. So I'll put it over here. So X is going to equal the liters of 40% hydrochloric acid, and Y is going to be the liters of the 10%. Okay, so if we add them together, we should get 15. But the second one is going to figure out the percent of hydrochloric acid. So we want 40% of the liters of this guy, and then 10% of the number of liters of the 10% hydrochloric acid is equal to the 15 times the 25% total. So we're trying to get to this 15% or 25% of the solution of the total 15 liters being hydrochloric acid. So what we do is we take that 20.25 times 15 to get 3.75. So now we have our two equations, or our augmented matrices. So we have 1, 1, our line 15, and then we have 0.4, and then we have 0.1, and that's going to give us 3.75. So we go back and go to second matrix, and then we want to edit, and then we're going to enter. Again, it's a 2 by 3, and then we have a 1 and a 1 and a 15, and then we have a 0.4 and a 0.1 and then a 3.75. And then we do second quit, and then second matrix, and we're doing a math calculation, and we're looking for RREF again, and you get to call the numbers, which is under second matrix 1, and then we're going to hit enter, and then that gives us the fact that we need, if we go back to here, we need 7.5 of each. So our X is going to equal 7.5 liters, and Y is going to end up at 7.5 liters. So you equal amounts of this to get to 25% solution of hydrochloric acid.